So, Derek, you're the person to ask. What is going on with Russ?
No, I think Russ is being Russ in a lot of ways. I mean, I think he's always played on edge. So I'm not surprised that, he's being himself in terms of that. He's got new twins in the house on top of another. So
no sleep on
No sleep.
That's a good point.
So that's part of it. But I think the other part is that I think Russell is going through a major transition at this point in his career in terms of still finding that balance between giving Paul George that room to do what he's doing and having the season he's having. Steven Adams is blossoming, giving him room. Dennis Schroeder is there, having a great season so far. So Russell's starting to learn how to kind of pull back and let other guys eat. And so there are going to be some nights where it just feels a little awkward. And so now I have to do something else to get myself into the game. So that might be being physical. That might be talking a little bit more trash to make sure that he's still engaged at a certain level. So instead of taking 30 shots, he's now down to 16 or 17. He's taking less threes. His triple-doubles are 16, 11, and 13.
That is true.
Not 35, 14, and 11. And the Thunder are one of the best teams in the West. So I'm not overly concerned that he's off the edge here. I think he's just kind of going through some transition.
I think all that might be true, but I think there's some frustration here going on too, Skip. Russ is shooting 24.8% from the three-point line. He's shooting 62% now. Going into last season, he was an 82% career free throw.
It's horrendous.
He's averaging 20 points a game. That's his lowest since the second season. Now, I understand all I care about is winning. I want to win, but I need to get my numbers too. Because I've shown that we can win. I can still get 30, 12, and 12. We can win that way too. We winning, but, look at how I'm shooting. Look how I'm playing. And I think the frustration, because it's like Paul George is kind of moving on like, hey, I'm the best player over here. Paul is ruffling his feathers. He's look like he's because it's not easy playing in the West, Skip, because you got Bron, you got KD, you got Harden and Steph Curry. Paul George, I was one of the better players in the East. I want to show that I'm one of the better players in the NBA, not just the Eastern Conference. So, and Anthony Davis, so you got to puff your chest out and let everybody know that you've arrived. And so I think some of this, Skip, is frustration because he's shooting the ball so poorly. And we're not used to seeing Russ play this bad. Yeah, they're winning, but it's almost like they're winning in spite of him because he's shooting the ball so poorly.
That is true. So, I'm not advocating fighting here, but I'm pretty sure you went up against Russ in a whole lot of practices, right?
Unfortunately.
And I wonder what your take is on. Again, I don't want to see fists thrown, but would Russ back this up if it ever came to that? Does he have that in him? It seems like he starts a lot of fights, and then I look up and he's laughing over on the sideline. Not starts fights, but the shoving.
Jamal Murray the other night.
They're pushing and shoving. It seems like every other night he's pushing and shoving with somebody. So would he back it up ever? Does he have it in him?
No, this is Russ.
Okay.
He would back it up if it came to it.
All right. I need to know that because I've never been sure about that because he plays on the edge. He's as physical a point guard as, we've ever seen. You were a physical point guard, right?
Yes.
Did you guys ever get into it and push and shove in practice?
There was some pushing and shoving, but not of this nature.
Yeah.
But he's as physically strong as you'll ever find. When he hits you, you feel it.
Okay.
So I do think he would back it up.
So how surprised were you about KD leaving Russ?
I wasn't overly surprised, honestly. I think that it was not as much about leaving Russ as it was finding KD. I think he finally got to a point in his life and in his career where he was less concerned about what other people thought about him and more concerned about what he thought about him and what's most important to him. And the situation in Golden State, that's what he wanted to do. That's where he felt like he would be most comfortable. And he made the decision, and he wasn't overly concerned with what other people were going to have to say about it. And then now he's finding himself back in that situation again where everybody's kind of anticipating at the end of this season, what move is he going to make. And because he has now practiced and done it, I feel like
easier.
He can make a decision.
Real quick, because we got to go. Gut feeling, he winds up where next year, KD?
Oh, my gosh.
Just gut feeling. At this moment in time, you would think?
I would say New York.
Okay.
Okay.
If
On
I'm
that
just
note.
like
All right.
totally guessing.
There
Yeah,
you go.
well, you know New York
We'll
too.
have to see.
Yeah.
Derek, thanks for being
right.
here.
Thank you
Good
for
to
having
see
me.
you. Good luck with everything you've got going. All right.